That Note with Parker Whirling.
Quite like that, actually.
You like it?
Yeah.
The athletic?
Yeah. It's got like my favorite part of an IPA without the shitty part at the end.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Well, it's not an IPA, so that helps.
Oh, that helps, yeah.
This is the Upside Dawn Golden,
Okay.
the Golden Ale.
Huh.
I would drink the IPAs all the time. I would do like the
So they
Run
do an
Wild.
IPA
They do.
of
They have
this?
two
Okay.
IPAs, and actually one of them looks a lot like this.
Really?
It's the same like color scheme and everything.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I'm kind of trying to go off the IPAs because they are a little heavy.
Yeah.
Like one is cool, but I want 2 or 3, and after like the 2, I'm like, good
Like
God,
asleep.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing these golden ales. But we got Riley Stillwagon on the chair. On that note, recess party, second time, right?
Second time, yeah.
Second
Shout out
episode.
Second time.
That's
Yeah.
right. Second episode, second location. The
Mhm.
first time was in Athens. For those who don't know, this was an Athens pod at first, and now it's an Atlanta pod. So I'm excited to have you on again. We've been communicating back and forth, trying to make this happen over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But you're a busy guy running a studio, recording Atlanta's finest artists.
True.
I want to get into the production stuff you're doing, but
Yeah.
of course I want to get into Recess Party's new EP, This Must Be. 6 songs. I love every single one. Each one gets better, I think, as it goes through. So I'm excited to talk about that. But why don't we get into the record you picked from the On That Note record collection today?
Yeah, I had to go for House of the Holy, Led Zeppelin. So it has one of probably my favorite song of all time, up there. I don't want to give it the ultimate, but it's got to be like top 5, No Quarter.
Okay.
It's just, there's something about that song, just like such a slow build. Tool's got an insane cover of that song.
I didn't know that.
If you haven't heard, it's really, really great. But I've been on a big physical media kick, have this record at home, and there's just something about it, especially like listening to it in this format, just feels correct.
You know, you've inspired me to listen to that after we're done with the pod because I haven't gone back to the Led Zeppelin days. I used to be really into them in high school. And
Sure.
kind of just other things started coming my way, and I need to go back and check out the Led Zeppelin. But Houses of the Holy is actually my favorite song, I think, by them.
Sick.
But it's not on that album for some reason.
I was on a big kick of listening to When the Levee Breaks, because that's like one of the most iconic drum sounds like, of all time.
Yes.
So I've been chasing that like just fat hallway, drum sound
Yeah.
for a while.
Have you gotten close, you think?
Man, I just got an M160, that mic that they use in overhead on that record, but I haven't gotten to use it yet. It comes tomorrow. So
wow.
I'm kind of stoked on trying that out, seeing if I can, get closer.
Very sick.
yeah.
I know that drums are like notoriously one of the hardest things to record. What do you think have been some like tips and tricks that you've learned along the way of recording drums?
Man, some of it's like really boring. It's like tune your drums well. Good player, tune your drums well. Make sure your drums have like nice heads on them, nice and broken in. But then trial and error. I kind of got obsessive about it for a while, and I was like chasing that because I feel like once you can record drums, everything else comes kind of naturally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been just kind of obsessed with drums for a bit.
It seems to be the delicate balance between like room tone and actually miking the drums themselves.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know shit about recording really, but I feel like if you're doing a guitar, even if you're miking an amp, you're not really considering the room as much.
Yeah, definitely not as much. Yeah, you're like, I don't know, with drums, you got to make sure you're in a good room if you're trying to use the room. Christian and I spent a lot of time moving. We were actually building gobos today, so it was kind of just like...
What's that?
That's just like a moving acoustic panel.
Oh, okay.
But, we're big on like do it yourself, build it, don't spend all your money on acoustic panel type things. So,
Totally. It's easy to do.
It's very easy. It's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make as much money as you spend when you record it.
Yeah.
It's good though.
That's great. And it's 2026 now. It's pretty early on. So I wanted to ask if you have any New Year's resolutions when it comes to music, when it comes to production, anything that comes to mind.
Oh, man, I wish I had something like quantifiable. I feel like I've been big on like, if you have a goal, you should be able to like measure it. You should be able to do it.
Yeah.
kind of been floating the first 2 weeks of this year. So I feel like that's like just kind of like figuring out what I'm doing. Have some cool stuff on the books, which is fun. So kind of just getting ready for that. And I feel like that's when I'll wake up and like really know that I'm in 2026. But yeah, like right now I'm kind of hanging out.
Nice.
So,
January is like an intro month. I feel like where you really find your footing. You can make some resolutions but it really starts around February.
Yeah. Everyone wakes up and they remember where they
get to work.
Yeah, get to work. So
well, I want to talk about, the new EP, This Must Be.
Let's do it.
The previous album, Paid in Full, which it's been some time. It's been a few years. So what would you say in those few years between Paid in Full, which was very well received and I really enjoyed it, and I've seen you play those songs at multiple venues. I feel like when it came out, people were really psyched, and I'm just curious in the few years since, like, what's been some takeaways from that album that you wanted to implement into this new EP? Which feels kind of like an album, by the way.
Oh,
it just has like that feeling.
Thank you.
It's only 6 songs.
I think like I don't even know what like EP and album mean anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a weird I don't know, it's kind of lost like it's the real reason like they call them EPs or LPs. And so I feel like we kind of just set out to like we were just writing songs and didn't really know where they were going to end up. And then kind of when the title track was written, we were like, oh, this was always the concept. Like this, it kind of just like tied the bow on it. But what was your initial question we were talking about?
Just what kind of takeaways did you come with from Paid in Full, the full album, your debut album, that you implemented into the new EP? Any lessons learned? Yeah,
I think we because in between then, I think there was a lot that happened in between the release of the first record and then ultimately recording the second. We moved to Atlanta. There was a lot of just like life shifting kind of happening at the same time. Megan being in Athens and us being in Atlanta, it was a little bit more difficult to kind of like juggle things. And I think that we finally figured it out and we came back together and we're just like being friends. That was like the first step to like getting good music written again and kind of like feeling together. And I think we were just naturally doing that when we all lived in Athens. So like the first record was easy. It like came together in Sam's parents' basement and, there was never really like a thought of like, what are we doing? Where are we going next? Like nobody was watching. So it was really easy to do. And then after the first one came out, it was like, oh, like people responded like really well to this and we didn't really know what to do after that.
Yeah.
And then like, life catches up, distracts you, and you kind of have to come back around to it and be like, oh, I love my friends, love making music with them. And that's kind of always been the center of the band. So.
Yeah. And not to mention logistically, your band has a lot going on individually.
Yeah, this is true. We
all
got
have your own production. Sam's in like 20 bands.
Yeah.
Christian's in 20 bands.
Yeah.
How do you guys navigate that?
A lot of Google Calendar kind of stuff, which I'm not good at Google Calendar. So we still have our mix-ups and that's something we navigate. But a lot of just like making it a priority. Like I think we all really love playing music together. Back when Megan was drumming with us still, we would drive to Athens pretty much every week, to practice at Sam's parents' house. And it's just worth it, like you don't really think twice about it when you're kind of like in the midst of it. And if there's a show coming up, you're like, we got to prep for this. There's no question. So.
And, the drive really isn't that bad.
It's not that bad. Christian and I would always go together, we'd be listening to music, chatting, and
totally. It is a good time to catch up on some albums you haven't listened to or like a podcast you want to check out.
Absolutely.
And it goes without saying that this EP and the previous album is self-produced. Like you guys made these yourself, DIY style, moving the padded, what do you call those?
Oh, like the acoustic panels.
Yeah, just moving them around, like doing it all yourself. What's some advice that you'd have for an artist who wants to make their own album or make their own project, but they're not really quite sure where to start, what kind of equipment to have and things like that?
Well, so we did actually record this at a studio. We recorded at Hummingbird Studios in Atlanta. Shout out Ben and Evan.
Nice.
They run a great studio in Tucker. The recording, kind of like interest in recording, came up simultaneously though. Like We recorded Paid in Full with Roan O'Reilly at
shout
Gift
out.
Horse. Yeah,
Nice.
Love Roan, great guy. But like in terms of doing it yourself, I mean, I feel like we live in such a golden age of like technology for musicians and like accessibility. Like you can fight and split hairs about like your $700 preamp versus like a Focusrite preamp, but like I mean, it's so clean that like it doesn't really matter. I think just do it. I think I made a lot of excuses when I was like early on in recording of like, oh, I can't, get a good product until I have this or that. But it's just your ear, man. It's like once you kind of get going and know what you're doing, like any band can release a really great record.
Totally.
So, I mean, Geese, they recorded their whole first record by themselves.
Yeah,
and got picked up by labels. So
I had the Geese from the basement playing when you walked in, and it was tough not to just get sucked in and watch the whole thing.
I was gonna plot myself on the couch.
I know, yeah.
Probably the third time I've watched that.
We were just talking about how insane that drop was. Like, I don't think there was any announcement that they were gonna put that out.
They knew how much that would hit. Like, that didn't need anything.
I wonder whose idea it was, because they could have done any live setting, and apparently they did that live at Jack White's studio.
Oh, really?
Or Third Man Records.
Okay,
and they're gonna put that out on vinyl only.
You know what? I was just reading that today. Yeah, that sounds tight.
That would be awesome. But they could have just filmed that, and it would have been sick. But there's something about that from the basement set that they knew the nerds like us would like lose our mind
hyperventilating over that. Yeah. I was like pausing it every 3 seconds looking at how they were recording stuff, and
my god, all
just,
their
like,
little
really taking it in,
gizmos and gadgets
all
and everything.
The gizmos and gadgets.
I want to ask specifically about Wrapped, that song Wrapped of yours,
of course.
that I think is my favorite song you guys have put out.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why it strikes me in particular. I think it's the guitar work that's going on.
Nice.
In the chorus, and it feels like the most. I know you're a huge Radiohead fan, as am I.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately for us and the people around us.
Yeah.
But that song feels like I can hear that influence the most in that one for some reason.
When we were recording that song, actually, first of all, that song was kind of a battle. That song, like getting through, kind of figuring out like where everything needed to sit, and we did a lot of stuff kind of outside of like how we usually record. I feel like a lot of the times we're very like, we're 2 guitars, drum and a bass, and we sing. That's about it. But we wanted to try some like kind of new stuff out. There's like some synth going on in there. I've become such a synth nerd over the past couple years that I'm just like, any excuse to like throw some, synthesizers in a song. I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. So we walked in and there was like a Moog, I think it was a Sub Fatty or a Lil Fatty, I think is what it's called. And I was like, well, that's got to go on the record somewhere. Like, it's got so much vibe. And so we kind of were just like trying a bunch of new stuff out, and not all of it was working. We got this like crazy guitar sound with like a bunch of fuzz straight through like a console, and we like couldn't figure out where it should sit. And so we were just like kind of duking it out, not in like a negative way, but we were just like really trying to figure that song out. Because it's kind of like angry, and it's kind of like definitely like scared also. Like that song is a lot of like fear. So we wanted it to feel that way and feel like industrial. And at some point, Ben Wolken, who was co-producing with Evan, he gave us permission to go Radiohead on it, because he was like, it feels like it wants to lean that way, and we should just like let it. And so I think that's probably where the influence is.
Interesting.
Is feeling.
Whoa. So you guys were like trying to stave off the.
I think we were trying to stave off the influence, but we were like, we just got to go for it, Yeah,
there's something about even just like, it makes me feel like a snake.
Yeah, like the push-pull kind of thing going on. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm slithering around.
Yeah, love that.
I don't know. There's something that the outro is so sick. I love when just the way you do your vocals, like you kind of chop it up. It's a little different than how you were doing the rest of the choruses.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. That song in particular speaks to me, but every song is fantastic. Was that the hardest one to record, you think?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Interesting.
There was I don't know. I guess it wasn't like the most. It was the one that we wanted to put the most work into, because we were like, we know something's here. Like, I think that song came with like a guitar part and vocals, and then everything else was kind of like put on after. And so we knew like we were playing it live and kind of like figuring it out, and just never was like 100%. And so we wanted to duke it out like in the studio. Like some songs just feel like they just need a little studio time. They need some like love. They need some production, like movement or, you know, assistance. And that was one of them.
Yeah.
Assure was another song that was like, we wanted that song to feel so lively and like in the room with us. And so we did a lot of live takes, and there's like a law of diminishing returns on live takes.
Yes.
Where you'll just like go and go and go, and you're like, I can do better. Usually
Totally.
You can't. And it's like, take like one or two.
Just give up, folks.
Yeah,
if
just
you're
give up,
trying to
folks.
get the best take,
No,
give up.
there's a little bit to that though. You take a break.
Yeah.
We like walked outside, you know, finally took a breath of fresh air and walked back inside with like kind of a new perspective. And that was the take we used. It was the one after we like finally took a breath and like settled. So yeah.
There's something to that. Absolutely. I feel like, you know, I mentioned I work at an audition taping service for actors, and the amount of times that people end up typically choosing the take that they do is like one of the first 2 or 3 is like almost always guaranteed, unless they're looking for something very, very specific and they get it at the end. But even still, there's always a diminishing return. People will book like an hour-long session, spend like 30 minutes on a scene, and almost always, to me, even if the client doesn't think so, the first take or 2 has this rawness that you're not gonna like replicate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you get in your own head. You like stand in your own way, and you're like, I don't know, when you're overthinking something, you don't let whatever's like driving you subconsciously to create that art or to, you know, play that song the way you need to. You kind of step on it when you overthink it. So I think like really getting out of that like stuckness and like that like cyclic repetition is really important.
And it feels like it can happen with demos as well.
Yeah.
Classic demoitis,
The
or
old
even just
demoitis.
the first version of a song. There's some feeling you get 'cause you're like, this didn't exist and now it exists.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to it over and over and over again. And then, you know, the second time you go back to record a song, if you didn't do it all in a day, like you go back and you're like, all right, well, objectively, I guess it sounds better because we did more work.
Yeah, sure.
But sometimes you lose some life in there.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get that first version and you're stoked on it. And then usually the next one I'm like, oh, I kind of lose a little bit. And then it, like the third one, I'm like, this is hopeless.
Yeah. Why do I even write music? Like,
exactly. Yeah. That's the pit of despair. And then the fourth one or whatever, the last one ends, you're like, oh, it's better. Like, and you don't really know necessarily why.
I think that's like, it's such an inherent struggle to like, I don't know if it's like your own art, but like to get it feeling perfect is like so rare. It's like very rare that you get something exactly the way you want it out of your head.
Yeah.
And like when that does happen, it's a really great feeling. But
can you think of a time when you did?
I think writing and finishing Paid in Full, like that song, that was one of them. This Must Be was like, that was a song that was just like nagging at me. It was like begging to be written. And when it came out, I was like, that's it. That was the one. That was what had to happen. And I'm really grateful for those moments. So
yeah. Would you say that those are the songs you're the most proud of?
Yeah, I would say that. I think that like conceptually for both of the records, it's like there were the songs that needed to happen to like tie the bow on it and be like, this is a full concept project, like, and this is why. Like they almost like answered the questions that I think we were all struggling to like see the full picture of. So
for this new EP, you said it's a concept project. I didn't think of it that way, although there is a pretty clear line of cohesion throughout the whole thing. I think the album art is just for some reason like perfect for it.
Nice.
I'm curious about that, and then I'll go back to the other thing. But yeah, what's the artwork like represent, and who did the artwork?
So that was kind of like a collaboration between there's this like wonderful tattoo artist in Atlanta. His name is Jose Javier on Instagram, I think. I wish I could remember the handle. But I got a tattoo from him couple months into moving to Atlanta, and I had just such a like wonderful conversation with him. Like when you're on a table, you know, having needles repeatedly drilled into your arm, you end up having like really nice natural conversations with that person. And like, I don't know, there was something just about how we clicked that I was like, we should work together. We should do something. And so we kind of like hung out, and I chatted about the EP we were working on at the time. And I think we were like 4 songs in maybe, and it wasn't totally ready yet. So I was like, I'm going to wait on this before we kind of like chat and do anything else. But when it came time to like do the artwork, we were just kind of talking about concepts, and this idea of like chess pieces was coming up, and we had some ideas of like how we were going to do the chess pieces, but I really didn't want to do like, I didn't want it to be like imagery, you know, like imagery in front of your face and, you know, figure it out. I wanted it to be a little bit more hidden. I think I like when things are kind of like under the surface. And I really liked Jose's style. So we reached out and were like, hey, could you like send us some options of, you know, these 3 chess pieces? Like they're going to represent the 3 singles on the record, and then ultimately are going to be a part of the bigger, what's it called when there's like a couple paintings or like pieces of art? Yeah, like a triptych or something, like a series, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like, so when things are, I think a triptych is like a 3-part series.
Like it's like literally 3 images next to each
yeah,
other.
I've always been a big fan of that kind of stuff. And like, I think it kind of helps like understand the full image when you have a focus on the little pieces. And so we had him do that art, and we were all like a big fan of just this one style that he had done. And then we were like, well, it's got to be kind of like represented somehow. And so we went thrifting, got some, you know, kooky looking frames and put those up. And then we hung them from, I guess like our air vent and mine and Christian's hallway. We lived together. And then my girlfriend, Raina, she ended up taking the picture, and then we like heavily edited them to kind of give it some like grain and distortion. But I think that this whole record to me was a lot about like gaining perspective. I get stuck in negative headspaces a lot. And I think that I spent a lot of time walking out of that hallway, like just kind of mulling about, like trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of realized, I mean, when This Must Be was written, I realized how much that like negativity I was stuck in was like kind of keeping me down. And instead of looking at situations and immediately just like, I don't know, just feeling bad about them, I tried to look at the bright side and tried to look towards a future where like things work out, and, you know, maybe it's not always the worst, and, you know, be kind and nice to yourself. And so I think that those pieces represent just like situations, and each piece kind of has a reason that it's representative of a song. And then the frames provide like the perspective, like how you frame a situation. I guess that's kind of where we were going with that. So yeah, that's how the artwork kind of came to be. It was very much like how to finish the record and then really think about the visuals to get there.
Very cool. I just think they match up really perfectly.
Amazing.
And, did it feel like when you finished, when you put it all out or had everything together, like the songs, the visuals and everything, did it feel like closing the door on that sort of perspective, or is it something you still kind of have to work through?
I think a little bit of both. I think that there was definitely like the song This Must Be is kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel for me, and I think for some of us in the band, of like looking towards a future like sustainable and healthy and happy future. I think obviously you always fall back into old habits occasionally, but it feels like it represents like getting better and like having something tangible to hold on to like get there.
Yeah.
So I think it has, and that process has made me kind of feel better in a way. And I guess that's what, you know, writing music is for.
Cathartic.
It's cathartic. Yeah.
It's nice to have something that has like bookends on a chapter of your life, and an album, like the creation process of that, or even just one song can really do that for you if it feels like something that really means a lot to you. And for me, there's a lot of times where I'll start writing a song and I don't even really quite know what it's about until either I'm done writing the song or sometimes even when the recording is done, and elements that are added into the song like kind of throw your imagination in a way that you wouldn't have thought of when you were writing, and like you're gaining a new perspective on your own, barely a perspective that you started writing with.
Yeah. I think it's like, you said it pretty much perfectly. Like you'll write lyrics, you'll write a song, and you're like, not really sure what that means. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. And you'll have a conversation 2 weeks later, and a line that you wrote will make sense. And you walk down the street, and another line will make sense. And you're like, you start to figure out your own kind of like issues or your own life through your own music. Yeah,
it's a weird self-discovery sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's not always like that. Sometimes you write a song and it's you know from the beginning kind of what you want to write about, maybe from the first line. You're like, oh, this is gonna be about this, and then sometimes it's a little bit cloudier, and then over time you're like, oh wait, this makes a little bit more sense if I go this way, but it's still like can even be abstract to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
For your own productions, you're a producer, you work with other artists. You worked with Ad Astra, who's been on the pod. I know there's got to be someone else I feel like I've had on the pod that you worked with, but
I work a lot with I think Ezra. You've worked.
Yes, yeah, that's right, Ezra. And she doesn't know this. I'm gonna ask Emma LaPrade to come on.
Yeah, she's great.
You just produced her debut single, which I thought was fantastic.
Thank you.
What's it like working on other people's stuff versus your own? I know that's kind of a surface level question, but for you, does your mindset change at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I'm able to be a little bit more objective with other people's music and kind of help them through things that I think I would have been stuck in if I was in their shoes. Like, I know how often I get obsessive about tiny details, and like how ultimately, kind of like we were talking about earlier with like Assure, like your first take's your best take sometimes, and kind of allowing things to be raw and natural. I think that's one of them. But also I love the technical side. I think that like I'm deep down like super nerdy about gear, and like really love mixing and really love just like that part of the process. Like it's the perfect intersection of like science and art, and that's kind of always where I've wanted to live in my life. So I think that it just kind of like scratches an itch to help, other artists get their music out there. I think it's kind of like one of the biggest joys. I was just at Emma's show last night, and I hadn't even seen her live yet. I think Raina met her at a show, and then, sent her my way for like production stuff, and then ended up like really loving the demos she sent me. But like seeing that song live and like seeing how much it meant to people, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is so rewarding to like have been a part of this process, and ultimately just like let another fantastic artist like get there.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Do you have a what's the word? Like not a mantra, but a set of rules or a structure when it comes to producing people? Do you have a way you like to run things, or do you like to have like a one-on-one with them about what they're trying to accomplish beforehand?
Definitely like to know the person first. Because I think that everyone's different, and I think everyone needs kind of like different conversations when you start working together. I think some people they come in and they're like, they have a vision, they want to get it done, and you kind of just hit record and you let them do their thing. And I love working on projects like that. And then there are also some artists who come and they want it to be a conversation. They want to like work through things. So usually I start by just trying to get to know the person, like seeing what they're into, what music they like. We'll usually listen to a bunch of music together and kind of like find our similar interests and figure out how we can kind of like shape them into what they want to be as an artist. But I try not to get stuck in like, I guess like rigid ways of thinking. Cause I know from personal experience, when I'm stuck, I'm not growing. I'm not like trying to get better at things. So I try to have like a system of things I try to do in terms of like order of like recording, or, I know how to keep a session kind of flowing, but ultimately it's up to them to use their time how they want. So yeah.
And you mentioned the whole idea of the first couple takes can really be it.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people fight you on that?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, I mean, ultimately it's always their music, but I think that I've had conversations before where it's like, man, like when we recorded that scratch take, like I felt everything I needed to feel, and then we would go back and forth for a little bit, and then sometimes it's like, you're right, yeah, I did feel everything. Sometimes we'll like punch in a take of something they were a little bit unhappy with, and then everyone's happy. So yeah.
What have you learned from working with artists that maybe you wouldn't have learned just from doing your own stuff?
I think I've just gained so much like perspective into other kinds of music. I love, like, I don't know, I just love the idea that like everyone is their own kind of like mosaic of their experiences and their conversations they've had with other people, and getting to kind of like really intimately know another person through art is like such a great experience. Like I love hearing like what has made the person who they are that day. So I think that's what I've really gained from kind of all this.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see when people surprise you with what their influences are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can really tell like when somebody's influence is like, I don't know, if they love Ed Sheeran and they sound like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, you're like, makes sense.
That's cool, but it's really, I think it's interesting when you kind of get to see the soup of it all.
Yeah.
Like all the little things that they consume, and even in different ways. Like, I'm literally not making this connection until right now, but I remember when I was interviewing Ad Astra, whose album you produced.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded very theatrical, and it is.
Yeah.
It's like a very concept theatrical album. And after meeting her and like following her on Instagram after we had done the interview, I've noticed that she's watching movies like every day.
Oh yeah.
Which like makes so much sense. Like she's engrossed in that kind of art, and it makes sense that that's going to trickle down into music. Yeah.
And I mean, working with her, that's trickled down into my music as well. Like I found such a wonderful appreciation of like strings, and I've gotten to record some really incredible violinists in Ezra.
Ezra's crazy.
He's crazy. He's got fantastic intonation. I always tell him that. I was like, never have to touch that. Jordy Lara, incredible cello player.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to record him a bunch.
Used to live in this house.
Did he really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. Yeah,
no
he used to live in this house with Will Ruff. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I worked with Will Ruff on Meredith's first single, which was the first single I produced.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go. We're in their house.
We are. That's crazy. That's wild.
Shout out to those guys. Will Ruff has the cutest cat I've ever seen in my life, dude. It's a hairless cat.
Dude, those things are cool.
Named Ruben.
It's a great name.
Awesome. Yeah. It inspired me to like get one at some point in my life. But then I hear about, I mean, you just got a dog. I don't want to say anything, but you just hear about vet bills and like shit. Like I'm like,
no,
oh
dude,
God.
I'm feeling it already. I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a whole living creature.
Yeah. But you know, the pros outweigh the cons.
Always, yeah.
I want to ask about touring. You got some shows coming up.
Yeah.
Playing in Charleston, Greenville, and Charlotte. Some North Carolina gigs.
Yes.
In the end of March. March 21st for Charleston, March 27th for Greenville, and March 28th for Charlotte. I am working on figuring out a tour right now, and I know there's probably a lot of people listening who either A, haven't played a show, or B, haven't done a tour, or both. And I'm just curious, you guys have toured before. You're about to keep doing it. So what's some advice you'd give to people who want to plan their first tour?
Ooh, want to plan your first tour? Man, I feel like we've gotten very lucky, and we both also have wonderful people that we work with. Our manager, Ethan Gallahan, he's just kind of been dialed for the past couple months. Like he's really helped us through a lot of like the difficulties of being a band. Like when you're trying to survive as a person first, and then play music, it can be hard to get tours together and to write new music and to find practice times and all that kind of stuff. So like having good people around you, always helpful. There's some great booking agents in Atlanta, some great management that you can find locally. That's always helpful. But truthfully, start with the bands. Like if you like a band in Charleston, reach out, say that you love their music, say that you would love to gig swap, and kind of start building your network that way. I was just talking to Megan on the phone earlier, and we were talking about how like music is always friends first, music second. Like it's about the people ultimately. And so if you can find good people and, you know, you can really build genuine connection there, you can start to like see the tour happen. Like you see like the cities that you kind of unlock in this musical journey. So yeah, find the artists that you really like in those cities, reach out, just be a fan, and, you know, be a good person.
That's great. Great life advice as well. Yeah, I feel like when you're coming at something with like, I don't know, some weird agenda, or just like not even an agenda, but just like,
sure,
I don't know,
you
like
want something.
Yeah, selfish or like self-absorbed reason, you're gonna hit some walls. Yeah. But if you are a fan of a band, like they're probably gonna be stoked about that.
Yeah, I know. We've been stoked in the past, and you know, we've reached out and been like, we love your music, and then we're staying at their house. You know, that's like,
which is, I mean, that
saves you a lot of money when you have friends.
Saves you a lot of. That's so true, dude. Yeah. I shout out to Sam in Recess Party. She's helping me figure out this tour.
Love that,
as well as Kenny from C Check. Got to shout out her as well. But they, you know, we talked about all the shows me and my friend Kimmy Carter are gonna play are like, we're making sure that we can stay at someone's house at every step along the way, and maybe even a backup house in case something happens.
Dude,
it's like, that's a huge expense if all of a sudden you got to get a hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been like absolutely been so grateful for the people we've met along the way who have like let us stay in their house. Like Neutral Snap in Louisiana, those guys are just some of the best people. Like they're genuinely great people first, great musicians. Oceanic, we stayed.
Dude, shout out Oceanic.
Shout out Oceanic, stayed in their house.
Good guys.
Yeah.
They're in New York, right?
They're in at least some of them are in Charlotte.
They just play in New York.
They definitely play in New York a lot.
Yeah.
We accidentally made a ruckus in their house after a show. Dropped a water bottle down a set of stairs after we were supposed to be really quiet at 2 a.m. It was comically loud.
A water bottle? Oh, like a Stanley
it's like a canteen. You heard every clang along the way.
It just hit every step.
Every
like,
step.
How did that happen?
Like, you know, seconds after he was like, my wife's asleep. Like, just be quiet.
Yeah, you're like, no problem.
No problem. We got this covered. So, you know,
funny.
We'll see if we can ever stay there again. But
yeah, those guys are cool, man. They put on a crazy show.
They do. Yeah.
It's like kind of mind blowing.
It is. They have it dialed. They have all the like the screens and like I don't know. It just feels like watching like a theatrical piece.
Totally.
It's cool.
Did you see them when they I got to open for them and they had like an ATM machine?
No.
Dude, they like rigged some ATM machine to like be connected to, you know, their millions of lights that are surrounding them.
I think that's cool.
And like at the end, it would print out their set list and then give it
that
to
is
people,
dope. I did not see that.
Yeah, it was wild. And they played one of the coolest covers of Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Very cool.
Yeah. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Nate and that band. But anyway, Riley, let's take this over to the last 5.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're just going to do 5 quick questions and we'll be out of here.
Perfect.
I think we did this too last time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully some new questions, some old ones too, I'm sure.
I surely couldn't remember what questions I answered last time. Let's see. I picked these out though, right?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
I'll put that right there. Move this a little closer.
Alrighty. Ooh, perfect album front to back. I'm going to go with... Oh, man, that's so tough.
Is it the one I think he's going to say?
Let's see. I'm trying to subvert expectations also.
Yeah.
I had like 3 answers immediately pop into my head.
Don't say in rainbows. Don't say in rainbows.
Can't say in rainbows, yeah. I think if it was Radiohead, I would say OK Computer, because of my personal experience with that record. It was like... I was a big runner in high school. I still, you know, run from time to time. And I went on a very like late night run in my hometown. And I was like, man, everyone always talks about Radiohead. Like, I'm going to check these guys out. I was 16, maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I was going through some problem a 16-year-old would go through.
Yeah.
I put that record on and I ran around in the dark and I was just floored every step of the way. So that's definitely one of my perfect albums front to back. My second album And it's funny because you know, your identity is linked to the albums you listen to when you're like 16. I don't think many people really escape that. But 22 Million by Bon Iver was second perfect front to back album.
Yeah.
I've had the absolute pleasure of seeing him live twice in my life.
Were you at Chastain? Is that when you saw him?
It was not. Wait, maybe Chastain. Was that with Dijon opening?
Yes.
Yes, I was there.
That was literally I think it might be the best show I've ever seen.
That was one of the best shows of my life. He every time
it was
he
so cold,
freezing cold.
It was like April and it was freezing.
I had like what felt like Wall Street execs sitting in front of me, just talking through all the songs except for the Pharrema songs, and that was frustrating. However, every time he plays Creeks, it felt like watching someone like rip their heart out on stage, and it just moves you to tears. Like there's no other explanation for that song. It's so perfect.
Yes. Yeah. I remember being blown away by that one. Like, it's already a pretty limited. That's not the right word, but there's not a lot going on in the song other than the vocals and the whatever harmonizer thing he's doing. And he slows it down like 200%, so it's so much slower. But by the end, you're like,
it just feels so incredible. And he's gone on to talk about that song and performing it live, and how that's kind of like the act of playing that song like crushed him on stage, night after night, and it makes you understand the like separating the authorship from the person sometimes, because it can be heavy to sing songs like that. So
I love that whole show, and I got to learn a couple of songs I didn't know from him. There's one that's like old that I literally sent a video to my friend who's like a way bigger fan than I am, and I was like, what is this song? And it was it was like a demo that never got onto anything.
Oh, really? Do you remember what song it was?
I can't remember right now, but I can look it up later.
Sure.
It's literally like only on YouTube if you look it up. He only plays it live.
Yeah. I love getting that deep into a musician's discography, where you're like on YouTube looking for 2007
Listen
performances.
to some like shitty MP3, YouTube MP3 version of it.
But it hits.
Yeah. And then this other one was called Gelmore.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed
Never heard
with
it,
Gelmore.
and I was like, this song is amazing.
Yeah, it's like the least streamed song and the least streamed album, and I think it is impeccable. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what it's about.
I have no idea.
Something about a gas mask on a thrift store worker that he mentions. Yeah, incredible. I love that song.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. 22 Million and OK Computer.
Yes.
Anything else coming to mind?
The Glands record immediately came to mind. I'm a huge
Athens,
fan.
Right?
Yes, huge fan of the Glands. There's a song called Call Me Doctor, I think on Double Thriller. I could be wrong, don't quote me. Love that album a lot. From someone who sometimes feels like a hypochondriac, that song really that really got me.
Whoa.
It's like it feels half written, but at the same time it's like the perfect amount of written, and it's just really tragic song. I love it so much.
Cool.
So, highly recommend.
I need to listen to the Glands a little bit more. I mean, people have told me, I think Rowan O'Reilly told me that they were sick.
Yeah.
And it's I know there's the two albums, right? The picnic blanket looking one, and then the one that just looks like a nice inside of a house. Like a yellow house.
Also impeccable record. So
which one were you mentioning?
Man, I kind of mean the whole Glands discography.
Okay. There's only two albums, right?
Yeah. However, Double Thriller really calls me. So
okay, cool, nice. Well, let's check out question number 2.
Let's do it. Sorry, I'm turning your fast fives into
no, dude. They're not even. I call them last five because I don't even bother with the fast thing.
Dream 3-band bill. Oh man, like to witness, to be a part of, to be.
Yes.
Yes.
I let people decide.
Okay.
Sometimes they're like, "Am I playing?" And you're like, "Well, it's up to you."
I think in this situation, I would just want to watch the set. I just want to be like a bystander at this one. Let me see if
the other one's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, the other one I would be like, I mean, obviously standing on the same stage as Radiohead, I'd probably I'd probably fall to my knees. However, man, if I had to put together the perfect 3-band bill, I'm really crafting. Saw Dijon recently.
I was just about to ask, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally like the next best show I've ever seen.
Yes, my God. We ended up not being able to go to the Atlanta show, so we drove to Nashville.
You told me
instead.
that.
Yeah. But I'm so glad we made it happen.
You got to see it when you had a pedal steel guy, which is
yes,
cool.
And that guy is very cool. I cannot remember his name, but incredible show. Like the stuff they were doing, even in the background. You think these people are like not really participating in the show, but like what they're adding is just there's so much. It's like so curated and perfect.
Andrew Sarlo doing the live mix.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. Andrew Sarlo is incredible. Just like the vocal processing he was doing on the fly, super dope. Yeah, I'd probably say Dijon, Wish I Could See the Glands, and Modern Baseball all in the same.
Whoa.
That would be my like. It would hit like every phase of my life. I think if I could see that lineup happening.
I miss the whole Modern Baseball. Like they're kind of emo, right?
Oh yeah.
I kind of miss that whole era.
Sure.
So I need to give it a listen, like a real listen.
Man, I think that record, like, it'll find you at a very emo time in your life, and it's always in the winter for me.
Yeah.
I start re-listening to some emo records in the winter. But the Thrash Particle, that song, I don't know, it just got me through the season of my life. I think, back when I was the old Spotify user, I would
We're on Tidal now?
We're on Tidal now.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
Tidal game.
We'll make you feel bad about being on Spotify.
Yeah.
Just kidding, but look into it.
Look into it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to look that hard.
You don't have to look that hard. It's screaming at you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that record found me at a good time, and I think I listened to it like 200 times in like 2 weeks maybe. It was just like a total obsession. So yeah, I think that'd complete my trifecta.
Nice. That's a good trio.
Yeah.
All right, let's do question number 3.
Let's do it. Let's see. In the studio or playing live? Man, I love the studio, but it will never scratch the itch like playing live. There's something so cathartic about it. I love being creative. I love working on other people's music. I've recently found a love of scoring. Got to do my first score last year, which was awesome. So fun. But yeah, there's just like times in your life where you feel you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and almost every time we play live, I feel that.
Nice.
So, love playing live.
Yeah, there's an energy you can't beat.
Yeah.
When you're playing live.
Yeah.
You can't really recreate that.
No, you feel it from the people around you, feel it from your friends on stage. It's great.
Totally.
Love playing live. Go to more live music.
Yes, go to a show.
We need you.
All right, number 4.
Let's do number 4. Least favorite song / album from your favorite artist. Ooh.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a, shot.
Yeah, man, who can I take shots at? I'll shoot at someone big so that, they won't feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, what is the most recent 1975 record?
Oh, don't do this.
I love
being
the
funny
record.
in a foreign language.
So love the record. Incredible.
Yeah.
I love the self-titled on that record.
Yeah.
The song just called 1975 or the 1975.
Yeah.
Love Part of the Band.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 songs, impeccable. I'm sorry if this one hurts. I hate the rest of the record.
The rest of the record, dog. I always brace myself for one song. That's crazy.
I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I think I really like. I don't know. I really like whatever those 2 songs were saying, and I think everything else paled in comparison to me.
I totally feel you on both of those songs, especially the 1975. The self-titled one.
The All My Friends ripoff.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. I was like, I've heard this before.
I've heard this song before. And you get it. I mean, we just ripped off All My Friends for our record too. So it's like,
dude.
yeah.
You did?
Yeah, the title track was 100%. I was like, the songs that are 6 minutes long that have the same thing going for the whole time, I'm obsessed with that. If you can keep someone engaged for that long,
yeah, I mean that's
incredible.
That is LCD Sound System for sure.
Yeah, kings of it.
Yeah, those 2 songs are great. That's interesting that the rest didn't hit for you. I feel like there's so many different vibes on there. I don't know. I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise.
I would appreciate the attempt. I never there's no hate on the 1975. This is gun to my head. I had to pick an artist to take a shot at.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you a fan of Notes That's on a conditional form.
I don't think is that.
It's the one before.
What's the album cover look like?
It's like just kind of, it's like gray, black, and like a little lime green. It's just letters and like it looks like a box.
Okay.
It's not even like a picture of anything.
Gotcha.
It's
I
got
don't think
20
I've actually
songs.
listened to it.
It's got like literally 20 songs.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. I'll check that one out. Thoughts on it? Think it's better? Think it's?
I think it's their White Album.
Word. Okay.
In the sense that there's a lot of songs on there.
Mm-hmm.
Some are amazing, and some I'm like, I hate this song.
Yeah.
I hate Jesus Christ America 2005 or whatever.
You know what?
Song.
That has Phoebe Bridgers on it.
Yes.
I do like that song. Unfortunately.
Dude, no. No, that would be my one that I'm like, this.
That's
and every time I'm
like,
every time it comes on, I'm like, I'll give it another listen.
Sure.
I get a minute and a half in, I'm like, this is boring. And then I check, I'm like, there's 4.5 more minutes.
Yeah. I'm fair. Watching. I feel like as a like ginormous Phoebe Bridgers fan, that I'll pretty much listen to anything that she puts out. So.
You think she's putting out a new album soon?
Man, I don't know. I hope that when she chooses to, it's a good record. You know, like I hope, you know, whatever she's doing now, hope it's what she wants, and I hope, you know, we get a good record after.
I respect when people take a long time.
I do too.
Like, what's it been, 5 years? 6?
Yeah,
it'll be 6 in like October and November.
Damn, that was when Punisher was 2020. Yeah, that feels right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was when I listened to that record. Oh yeah, love that. Punisher is incredible.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the last song for the first time ever.
Oh yeah.
And
I know
like
the end.
that's like the scream, and then like the scream that happens at the end,
like trail off kind of scream thing.
And I was like, I felt chills.
Yeah.
Great,
fantastic,
great album. I should go back and listen to it. I feel like the indie girls of that time they've moved on.
They have,
and it'll only take one Instagram post to bring them all back.
You know what? And I hope it happens because that was a golden era in music, in my opinion. I was really rocking with the like soft spoken indie folk.
Yeah.
Bring back more rubber bridge guitars, man. They should never leave.
Yeah.
Put your broken effects units away and pick up the rubber bridge guitars.
I love it, dude. Absolutely. All right, let's do last question here.
Let's do it. Ooh, dropping stuff. Let's see. Who do people often say you sound like? Oh man, I don't know. Megan once said that I sounded like is it Screaming Trees? Maybe the lead singer of the Screaming Trees.
Oh my God, Mark Lanigan.
I think so. I think
I
that's
have his
what
biography in my room.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I think that was brought up before. I recently read someone in the Atlanta scene who's very kind. She has a podcast called From the Liner, I think.
Yes.
Do you know
Bay for short?
Yeah.
Is her Instagram.
Yeah. She wrote a review of our record and said that I sounded a lot like Adam Duritz from Counting Crows, and especially in the title track. And I was raised on Counting Crows, obsessed with that, whole group, and I just love the way that he weaves words like in and out. I think that I took that as a high compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would gladly wear that one. So
nice, dude. I that's another band I kind of missed.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Counting Crows.
Sure.
Everybody knows Mr. Jones. My parents didn't know them at all. They ended up getting free tickets to the show. They said it was awesome.
Incredible. He refuses to sing the songs like they're on the record, which can be frustrating as a fan. You're like, you go to sing along, and he's like, I'm taking this somewhere else.
Yeah, I do
respect it too. I change lyrics on stage all the time, so I'm like,
really?
Yeah, it's mostly because I forget them. But
yeah, that's a good trick.
Yeah, it's a good trick.
I remember Black Midi. I saw Black Midi.
God, did you see?
Yeah.
That one hit.
Rest in
very
peace,
hard.
Dude.
Yeah.
That sucked because. He's 26.
26 years old. Yeah, it's awful.
It's horrible. That album, funny enough, I never really listened to the whole thing. I joined the bandwagon on this, less on the second album, more on the third one actually.
Was it Welcome to Hell?
Welcome to Hell.
Yeah,
which maybe was the title. I can't remember.
I think it is. Yeah.
That album was fucking.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Their KEXP performance, one of the coolest live performances I've ever seen. Pitchfork Live Festival, another great live record.
Well, have you seen them do the the guy who passed, he was in the Mercury Prize show. Did you see them play BM at Mercury Prize?
I have not, but I love that song. She moves with purpose.
Yes, you need to. Yeah, what a magnificent.
What a magnificent part. I'll get that stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
It's awesome, dude. That song, on that stage in front. I mean, imagine them playing that at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Is essentially what they did.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so there's all these just like people in suits just sitting
Not
and
knowing
watching,
what to
and
do.
they are like, especially the guy who passed, I think was his name Matt.
I want to say that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like doing backflips and doing crazy shit. I mean, he's holding a iPhone up to his guitar for like half of it.
Yeah.
And then eventually he just like throws the guitar and starts doing backflips and shit. And like, it's unreal, man. You can just see people like at the end, their like eyes
don't know
like,
what to do with that.
Yeah, they're so confused, but they're like, the audience went pretty crazy after, which was cool to see.
That's a Radiohead 15 step at the Grammys. So you like watch people in the crowd losing their mind.
I didn't know they did
I think
that.
they did it in like 2007 or 8 whenever that record came out. There's
it's
videos
a funny
of
one
him.
to play at
it
the
is
Grammys
really
out
funny
of all of the songs that they could have done from that album.
But you look in the crowd and people are like wide-eyed, like what is going on?
Yeah.
This is so strange.
I need to watch that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But Black Midi, they would do what you were saying, where they're like, they don't play the songs like
how they sound on the record.
Yeah, they're like playing them. They would play some of those songs which are like insane. Like the music is impossible.
Yeah.
And Jordy's like singing it like everything is an entire full beat off.
Yeah.
But he's doing it perfectly.
Yeah, he's somehow like interlocked into whatever it is.
Yeah, some weird polyrhythm he's got going that nobody could possibly sing along to.
Yeah.
Not that they really have much singability.
Yeah.
Their songs.
They're just you just kind of watch them.
Yeah.
Did you listen to his solo record, Holy Holy?
I did, but you know, that's a guy who's writing like 6-minute songs.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
oh yeah.
You know, I liked Holy Holy the song, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of people's number ones when it came out.
I was a fan. I didn't get to see him when they were in Athens.
Georgia Theater.
Yeah, my sister got to see that show, and I was really
bet
jealous.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I just never really got into it because I liked it. And I listened to it once. I'm like, this is cool. But it's just not the kind of thing it's very heady.
It's very heady. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. She said there were a lot of people like wearing suits to the show. And I was like, that's about right.
That does sound about right for some reason.
There's like 11 people on stage. Everyone's wearing suits in the audience. You're like, all right, cool.
It's like the meme of like Jordy Greep mosh pit.
Yeah.
Just guys like playing chess.
Yeah.
That's
about
awesome. Right. You know, somebody who I think you sound like, going back to the actual question.
Yeah.
And this, you know, no disrespect, by the way, he's great.
Yeah.
Is Daughtry.
Chris Daughtry.
Chris Daughtry.
Sure, dude. American Idol.
Yes.
Top 3 finisher. I think.
Top 3, dude. Yes, yes, man.
Yeah, I love Chris
awesome.
Daughtry. He's like a guilty pleasure.
Totally.
When Christian and I are like driving back late at night, it'll be like Creed, Daughtry.
Totally.
You know, 3 Doors Down, something like that.
Yeah,
I'll wear
like,
that one.
You kind of have the vocal style and delivery, but the music is not like the 2000s pop rock.
Yeah.
Which, no shade to that either. I mean,
no shade. Time and a place.
I'm trying to remember even any of the songs that he did, but there were some really good ones.
Oh yeah.
He had
some hits.
He did better than most winners of that show.
That's true. I think honestly, like the people who won American Idol almost never do as well as some of the
probably
top
get
5s.
locked into some crazy contract.
Yeah, you're stuck for
all
life.
that. Yeah, exactly. Well, cool, Riley. That's our time.
Dude,
On that
it's been
note,
a pleasure.
It's been great, dude. Recess Party. Go check out your new EP. This Must Be. The previous album, Paid in Full. Both bangers. And you got some shows coming up in North Carolina. End of March, we got Charleston, Greenville, and Charlotte. So come out.
Sure.
You got anything else you want to plug, or your social media handle?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, sure. You can follow me on social media. I don't post anything, but you can find all of what I do at riley.stillwagon. Follow our band. We're playing a festival February 21st as well in Atlanta.
Cool.
That'll be super sick. So come out and see that.
What's the festival?
Oh man, I don't know.
You're like, I don't know, but it's February 21st.
It's in my calendar. That's all I know.
Okay, check the GCal.
Yeah, my brain. I forget a lot of our shows sometimes.
That's okay. If you follow them, they'll post about it.
We will indeed.
There you go.
Come check us out.
All right, Riley. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
On that note, with Parker Whirling.